first is Mr. Ong Ye Kung. He's 42 years old. Since 2008, he has been serving as the Assistant Secretary General of NTUC and also the Chairman of the NTUC's Employment and Employability Institute, E2I. Prior to joining NTUC, Ye Kung was a civil servant. He was Director of Trade in the Ministry of Trade and Industry and also the Deputy Chief Negotiator of the US-Singapore Free Trade Agreement. From 2002 to 2004, he served as the Principal Private Secretary to the Prime Minister. And from 2005 to 2008, he was Chief Executive Officer of the Workforce Development Agency. Ye Kung graduated with first-class honours from London School of Economics and obtained an MBA from IMD, Lausanne, Switzerland. He currently volunteers in the grassroots of Aljunied GRC. He's also the Executive Secretary of the Singapore Manual and Mercantile Workers Union and the National Transport Workers Union. He's also an advisor to the Singapore Bank Officers Association. He's married, he has 2 daughters, and I'll now ask Ye Kung to say a few words about himself.
Thank you. Good afternoon, colleagues and friends. I thought today I'll spend a bit more time talking about who I am rather than what I did. I come from a family of 4, younger of 2 sons. My mother was a Chinese teacher, no-nonsense one, strict disciplinarian. I think not so much like Amy Chua, but still quite strict. She put a lot of expectations on us in terms of scoring well for our tests and exams, and there are unspoken targets. 95 and above, I get a good praise. 95 and below, I get some scolding. Below 90, heavy scolding. Below 80, I'll show her the script with a cane. That's how we are brought up. But what I thought was quite amazing, once I reached secondary school, she became hands-off. So with my newfound freedom, somehow I imposed her standard of self-discipline on myself. So I guess somehow through her own clever ways, she inculcated self-discipline and hard work in me, as well as my brother. My father was an opposition MP, as you all know by now. But when I was born, he was a businessman, small business, doing import and export of ornamental fishes. He owns a fish farm in Lorong Chuan in a kampong. Currently, that's in Aljunied GRC. I was his farm hand. We don't live there, but we spend quite a bit of time there. Weekend, he'll bring me there. I will help him catch the fishes, do the packing and all that. I'm only allowed to touch the hardy ones because the delicate ones, I might kill them. But that's what I did when I was young. I went through school. My mother places a lot of emphasis on my education. Very lucky for me to get the scholarship from the government. Lucky because otherwise my parents would not be able to afford sending me overseas. So I went to London School of Economics. In my free time in the hall, I washed dishes to earn extra pocket money. At that time, they pay us something like £7 an hour, which is not bad at all. No? I think it must be a student special price. So with that extra money, I had more pocket money to go traveling in Europe. That whole experience of independence, self-reliance, seeing the world, seeing Europe, I think was a very good confidence-building exercise and character development. I came back, served my bond, went to many ministries and departments. I think there are a few assignments that stood out for me. One was when I negotiated the US-Singapore Free Trade Agreement. It was special because that was very hard work, but I keep thinking to myself, we are a little red dot. They are a world superpower. Why do they want to negotiate something like that with us? By the end of the day, we managed to seal a deal, and a good deal, and I think we secured the economic future for Singapore for many years. And I realized that we as a small dot, we must always be fighting for international space. Even the seemingly impossible, negotiating with a superpower, I think with grit, with determination, working together as a team, making sure we are capable, I think the impossible can be achieved. Then I worked for, at that time, Deputy Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong as his Principal Private Secretary. Of course, in that course, I got to learn the policy thinking behind many policies. But I think most important of all, I got to watch at close range how the PM make his decisions. And without fail, every single time, he makes decisions for the long-term benefit of Singapore. And it is always about bringing real benefits to real people. And so I think those became my guiding principles, which I carried over to WDA when I became the CEO. And I applied those principles, think long-term, always about real benefits to real people. And so I worked with the CDCs, I worked with NTUC to make sure whatever we do at WDA reaches the common man, reaches the unemployed, so that their skills can get upgraded, they can get employed. So when I was offered a chance to go to NTUC, I also jumped at it, because then I continued to apply the principle to make sure that whatever we do affect unions, affect the workers in various companies. So I hope I'll have the support of Singaporeans so that we can continue to bring real benefits to real people. 现在让我用华语简单的自我介绍一下。我是王以康，我来自一个小家庭，4个人的家庭。我有一个哥哥，还有我父母亲。我爸爸经营一个小生意，就是买卖跟出口热带观赏鱼。他在罗龙川有一个港崩，还有一个渔场。小时候我常常有去跟他帮忙。我大概10岁的时候，渔场就被政府征收，整个家族、整个港崩也被迫迁了。我看我的整个家庭成员很多都是现在坐落在后港金山一带。不过现在回头想，那个地方都被建起来的，设施也非常好。从长远来说，我看这个拨迁是利多于弊的。我母亲是一个华文老师，也许她是华文老师的原因，她把我送进了华校。小学在南洋小学，中学在海星中学，两个都是以华文为主、华文沟通的一个环境。但是因此呢，我的英文变成很差，讲话吞吞吐吐，写文章更不用说。所以要读初中的时候，我就决定改一下环境，就进入了来佛士初级学院。那时候海星进入来初的只有2位学生，我就是其中一位。但是进了来初，不容易的一个环境，都是说英文的环境，所以那时候就开始苦读英文了。不过慢慢的，英文越来越进步。现在我的英文我看不错了。后来出国留学回来了，去了很多政府部门。有一点我还没在我的英文介绍没有提到的，就是我现在也是新加坡交通工友联合会，就是交联会的执行秘书。这是2年前的事。我也是从接任这个任务过后，开始从事基层的工作。第一件事，刚刚进入工会的时候，第一件事就是跑到各个车头，去跟车长、巴士司机对话，听他们大大小小、许许多多的问题，也替他们解决这些问题。所以我也要感谢，在此要感谢资总各位前辈、各位长辈，把我带入工会和指导我这2年来的指导。让我能够顺利的从事基层的工作。谢谢大家。